Parliament, let's take you back to the Protea Magistrate Court, where the suspect in the Vlakfontein family murder case has been denied bail. The 61-year-old Fita Khupe appeared in the Protea Magistrate Court in Soweto. ENCA's Lindokuhle Xulu is tracking that story for us and joins us live from Soweto. I think, Lindokuhle, in a moment we can talk about the journey towards the decision that the magistrate delivered, but let's start with the reaction from the community there. Inside court, we could hear clapping at the point at which the magistrate said bail is denied. What then has happened since then?
Well, Twilas, I can tell you that there is jubilant singing from the members of the Vlakfontein community, and this has been the energy we've seen from the beginning. But they've been very well behaved in terms of being inside that gallery and listening to the excruciating details of how the family members were actually murdered. Mabaso, of course, was the one who had given a testimony saying that he had killed several members of this family. Before I go to the community members, I would like to just speak to the National Prosecuting Authority, Mrs. Pindi, just about how they are welcoming this decision. But Mrs. Pindi, I think this is the first milestone in terms of the victory that you are looking for to convict these two, one of the suspects that is left here. But just take us through that. What is the reaction from the National Prosecuting Authority?
Well, we are pleased with today's ruling. We believe it's a victory for the justice system and also for the people that you see here who have supported us as the National Prosecuting Authority up until where we are today. The ruling itself confirmed actually what we have argued in court as the NPA, that releasing Mr. Khupe on bail would disturb public peace, and we have led evidence to that effect by through a testimony of one of the community leaders who came and testified about the anger of the community about the alleged crimes committed by Mr. Khupe and the deceased. We have also said that seeing that the witnesses are known to Mr. Khupe, there's likelihood that he'll interfere with the investigation and he'll also try to interfere with the state witnesses. We've also placed before court that there were no exceptional circumstances, since this was a Schedule 6 offense that they are charged with. There were no exceptional circumstances before court for him to be released on bail, and therefore we urged the court to keep him in custody and that he be dealt with in accordance with the law whilst in custody and not be released on bail. So we are actually glad that furthermore the court confirmed that the death of the deceased does not mean that the state case has now turned weak. It has actually said the state has a strong case against Mr. Khupe even after the death of the deceased, and which has been our position to say we have never said that we will call accused number one as a state witness. He has remained one of the accused persons in the case, and therefore his death does not really, it has an impact, yes, on the case itself, but not so much on the state case.
But Sispindi, right now we cannot argue that part of the testimony from the first applicant, which is Mabaso, was indeed one that furnished all the evidence and put it into pieces. Now, if this evidence is not allowed during trial to stand, which is something you're still going to apply for, definitely we're going to see that your case will be a bit shaken. But just take me through that. I'm going to ask, I know we've asked you this before, but that case, if that evidence is not admitted in court, what are we going to see the state doing then to ensure that Fita Khupe stays behind bars?
Well, like I said, even if that evidence is not admitted, which the likelihood of that happening is very slim, because the law is very clear. That evidence has been admitted in this bail application, and nothing stops the state then to make a request to say there were affidavits filed at the bail hearing. We therefore request those to be admitted as evidence to be used in the trial court. And amongst those is an affidavit, which is a sworn statement that was an affidavit deposed by accused number one in support of his bail application. And that evidence can still be used at the trial stage. But even so, even if that does not happen, like the magistrate has said today, that the state has many options that can be used to ensure a conviction in this case against Mr. Khupe.
All right, Sispindi, we'll just have to leave it there for now. Tilas, I am going to allow my colleague to just show you the jubilance that is here, the happiness of the community members of the Vlakfontein, the Vlakfontein community members. And in fact, if you would allow me, Tilas, I can just try and speak to one or two of the community members here and just about their reaction in terms of what actually has transpired here. But let me just ask one of the community members to speak to us. She is just coming here. They're very happy today, of course, behind that judgment, saying that they want Fita Khupe to remain behind bars. Mama, Sianbona Namhlanje, you're very happy. But just tell us your reaction in terms of what transpired in court today. Ngizokhuluma isiZulu mama. Besacela nje usitshela ukuthi nina nizizwa kanjani njengoba umantshi eseshilo ukuthi uFita Khupe uzodinawa ibail.
Sizizwa sijabule kakhulu siwumphakathi waseVlakfontein. Sijabule siswele umlomo eyinkulungwane yokubonga. Yebo.
Alright, but manje njengoba sekuyiwa ku trial, sisazonibona futhi nenza lokho enikwenzayo ukuthi nisupport umndeni nize court.
Yebo, siyolibele sisiza ngoba sithanda ukuthi umphakathi waseVlakfontein sibe yimbumba, sibe yinto eyi-one.
Alright, and then iwari yenu mama njengoba sekushone lo oqala uMabaso ukuthi mhlambe lokho akushile court ngeke kwamukeleke kulento ku trial. Nicabangani ngalokho?
Lokho siyacabanga ukuthi mhlambe ngeke usebenze but ngoba okuningi akushiyile kunqumana naye uDen lo simazi kuDen namhlanje uFifite siyabona ukuthi kulalapha ukuza siphumelelisa khona lokho yena akushiyile ngoba uyabona noma istatement sephoyisa sichazwa kunala angathi ufuna ukubambeka angisho ukuthi uyabambeka uFifite kunala ngathi uzofuna ukuthi zimbambe ezinye inkulumo ebezichazwa la.
Alright, mama siyekele lapho uzoqhubeka nje ulokhu yalapha Thulas, but what the lady is saying to me is that they are happy about the judgment here and they appreciate that Khupe is behind bars at this point in time. But what they are saying is that they are hoping that that evidence that was provided by Vusi Mabasa will be admissible going to trial.
Just before I let you go then, Lindo, let me ask you, it seems the testimony of the investigating officer about what the area around that property was like, the stench that was emanating from there, that the IO says you could smell from around the corner, from around the block, it made quite an impression on the magistrate today. You went there just days after the incident took place. What memories did that trigger for you as you were listening to what the magistrate was saying about that particular scene?
Well, Chulas, the magistrate found it very strange that Fita Khupe came back, and stayed about a weekend in that house when those bodies were in the back room and, in fact, in one of the bedrooms inside that house. But I can tell you that when I went there myself, some of my colleagues were wearing face covering, a cloth just to ensure that that smell doesn't affect them. But I can tell you that the smell was smelling, perhaps not from the corner, but 3 to 4 houses away from that house. You could smell the stench coming from the house. And I can tell you now that at that particular time, I think for myself, it was the adrenaline of actually covering and discovering that there were several bodies, about 7 of them, in fact, 4 women and 3 women and 4 children in that particular house that, kept me going. But when I think about it now, a few days later, when I tell people about what exactly we found in that house, it always comes back to me. I'm like almost gagging, trying to hold myself back from vomiting.
Sure.
But it has been that experience that we've had to recover from. And I can tell you that if we were able, in fact, to smell that stench, many of them would have been able to as well.
All right, Lindo Goshekulu, thank you so much. Live for us at the Protea Magistrate Court.